Another exciting episode of Finance Success. Today, we're going to be delving into the world of the cryptoverse, and we're going to be exploring why many people in the cryptocurrency space view Bitcoin as the new digital gold of the future. So, without further ado, let's start. Now, with the trillions of dollars that are being printed every day, or not every day, across the world, people want to have a hedge against the inflation that's coming. And a hedge to the inflation has been historically gold, which has been around for 5,000 years and was used in the ancient Egypt as a store of payments and value, and was even 70 years ago, the US dollar was backed on it. It no longer is, and many currencies used to be, but they all got off it, and now they're fiat, which means they could print unlimited. But there's only a finite amount of gold in the world, and this is what makes gold so scarce and so valuable. So, without further ado, let me just go to my chart. So, the gold market cap is roughly $8 trillion according to um, according to all these websites. And that's a conservative number. We've had high numbers, but it seems like the lowest is roughly $8 trillion. So this is what we're going to be using for our example. Um, According to the U.S. government, actually, there has been 187,000 tons of gold mined across the world, and this actually puts the market cap, according to the U.S. government, around 11 trillion. So you could just tell we're being conservative with our numbers, just to paint a picture. Um, so yeah, and many experts around the world believe that we're mining roughly 2,500 to 3,000 tons of gold every single year. So for our example, we're just going to do the middle of that, 2,750. And so now we go over here, and we see the market cap's $8 trillion, but according to the government, it's 11 trillion. So we're still on the low end. This puts the new inflow of gold, just to keep the price stabilized, it would take $164 billion of new capital inflow every year just to maintain the same exact dollar price down to the penny of how much gold is really worth, which puts the inflation rate currently at around 1.5%. And I'm using all these calculations based off of Yahoo Finance's current price of gold. So you know my numbers are legit when you see them. This means that a ton of gold is worth $60 million. And since we have so many, the inflow, like I said, is $164 billion of new gold is added to the market every year. And it has to hit the exact price in order for the price to be stabilized. If there's more demand, price will go up. If there's less demand, it'll go down. So just keep that in mind. Now we're going to go to Bitcoin and why I feel Bitcoin is still severely undervalued. Okay, so the current market cap of Bitcoin is not even in the trillions. It's 1.7 or $170 billion at the time of this recording. And the total supply is roughly 18,450,000. The nice thing about Bitcoin is there is a cap. It caps out at exactly roughly 21 million Bitcoin. And since we're right here, we still got a little bit of ways to go, but it's still less than 3 million. The current price, according to Coindesk and other sources, is 9,400 at the time of this recording. So, because Bitcoin is based off of computer code, we could know pretty much exactly how much new Bitcoin are going to be added every single year. And this makes it so that at the time of this recording, after the third halving, we're going to have 328,000 new Bitcoin being added for the next 4 years. After that, it's going to be cut in half. and then 4 years after that, cut in half again, until finally we reach such a low amount that in 2140, there's going to be zero new Bitcoin ever made, ever mined into existence. So this is really historic. Um, and if you want to learn more about that, I recorded a video during the last halving. So please go watch it if you're curious. Now, let's see what price it takes to stabilize Bitcoin. We saw that gold needs $164 billion every year, which is roughly, let's see how much that is a day. That's roughly a half a billion dollars a day needs to be added to the price of gold. Bitcoin only needs $3 billion for the whole year to stabilize it, which is truly incredible. That means it only takes roughly $8.5 million every day just for the price to stay at 9,400 of new capital coming in. And after the next halving, it's going to be even reduced to 1.5 billion, then to 0.75 billion. And this is not the same with gold. It doesn't just decrease in half every 4 years. So if the price per se were to hit 50,000, which I think is very reasonable for Bitcoin, all we would need is $16 billion of new capital every year for the price to stabilize at 50K. And then 8 billion every year after that, and then 4 billion every year after that halving. And it goes down and down. And you see, for $1 million for one Bitcoin, that's going to be a little bit of a hard achievement to hit at the moment. Since gold is 164 billion. So after the next halving, maybe we have a possibility of getting to where gold's at, but I think it might happen. It's just going to be kind of hard. It's not going to be in the near term, but I definitely see all of these as potential candidates for the next 4 years. So you really think that out of all the $164 billion that are being added every single year to gold, you don't think anybody's going to want to put a small amount into Bitcoin, another safe haven asset that has been not really been around for that long, but it's a great store of value. It can never be inflated. It can never be stolen from you. You can move it across the world in a matter of minutes, not minutes, I would say, probably in a matter of an hour. You could do all these things with it. It's not heavy. No one knows you have it. It's truly better than gold. And that's why people think that gold is, and I believe Bitcoin is gold 2.0. So now I'm going to go to my next point. The stock to flow model. Now, for analyzing the price of gold, since gold is a finite asset and people believe it's going to run out sometime, which it has to, they made a stock to flow. And the stock represents the supply that's not moving, and the flow is no, I said that wrong. The stock is the new, or I'm saying it wrong. One of them's the new inflow. I'm pretty sure it's this one. This one's the stable, the one that's already there and not moving. So you could see that in this stock to flow model, all of these models are predicting Bitcoin to go up every single time. And we're past the halving, so we're over here. So I know this chart's not going to be 100% accurate, but it has been really accurate in the past based off of historics. And it puts the price of Bitcoin in the next 4 years to 100,000, which I think is very doable considering the amount it needs just for gold to stabilize. We don't need that much. A fraction of it. This would be a tenth. If it got to 50,000, all we would need every year is a tenth of gold inflow just to stabilize at 50K. And so it's not that unfathomable to reason that it could hit 250,000 or 100,000 or even possibly a million. So now I'm going on to my next point. The stock to flow. The stock, I told you, represented the stuff that's not moving because not everyone's moving it. And you could see this in the fact that Bitcoin is traceable to some extent. And we could see every single address and how much Bitcoin they hold. And we could see that 61% of the Bitcoin has not moved in the past year. Why is this important? What is price based off of? All it is supply and demand, basic economics. And since 61% of the supply has not moved, and the new supply is cut in half every 4 years, basically, um, the price has to go up in order to meet demand. So when we see many lost addresses, I mean, we could see there are a certain amount of Bitcoin right here that have not moved. 21% have not moved in over 5 years. Another 5 haven't moved in 3 to 5 years, and so on. And most of the Bitcoin supply has not been moving at all. Not even to another person's address, which they could hold 2 addresses and just transfer it from wallet to wallet. And it's not moving. And this is a really bullish indicator that the price of Bitcoin will go up. And this is why Bitcoin is going to go up based off of the economics of, we'll go with gold. So I hope you found this useful. Hi there. Thank you for watching to the end. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it to someone. And if you have any questions, please put it in the comments and I will reach out to you. Thank you and have a good one.